just deep into my.
So yeah, this is so wrong.
Do this.
Like an owl.
Welcome to the future, everyone. It's a long time coming. We're finally here.
Yeah, that's so wrong.
Why do
Wow,
people
alright, so we already start with
like
a Stefan
this?
thing. Oh my god, the three
It's
grumpy
just
men.
like I don't know why you people are like so excited
You
about
people?
I don't know why you people are so excited about AI so much. It's just like you are just like shoving the apocalypse along like impatiently in the queue. Like, get the fuck out there already. Would you just get on with it? Why aren't we dead yet? Hurry up.
But at least our eyes will continue looking towards the apocalypse.
They won't they're not your eyes though. They don't belong to you. You don't own them.
They
They're
are
not your
our eyes now. AI owns us.
don't own me. You guys are
I'm gonna
all
go on to ChatGPT
freaks.
and make it write me a speech.
No, don't make it write your speech.
I'm scared.
Anyway, yeah, this is the Immaterial Gamers podcast.
Yeah, the AI is bleeding over your fingers there, fella.
Yeah.
There's the one person here who's not using fucking creepy AI like
AI cameras.
I
can't
focus.
I can't
shit.
continue to do it.
I'm just here waiting for the bit to end so we can move on with this travesty that we call a podcast.
Travesty.
I mean,
tragic.
I mean, to be fair, last week we technically didn't do a podcast.
Yeah, me and Andrea did. You're welcome.
Yeah, you and Andrea did a week prior without knowing.
Accidentally.
Yeah. Accidentally
it's
overleveling
already got
parties.
9 views. Let's go.
I'm currently looking at the camera, but not looking at the camera, flying a ship.
So that's Terry, everyone. Yes, this is a 3-man podcast that we haven't done for
don't get
a
a lot
long
of
time.
those.
No, recently, no. Hey,
Life sucks, guys.
Ryan's currently doing his best Daenerys Targaryen impression.
Hold on. No, it's more Lilith. She stands behind.
She's going to murder you.
I got a fan.
I love how it just shows up when you get close enough to it.
Yeah, no, it's like, look, the moment it disappears.
Oh, now your microphone shows up.
Yeah. Whoop. For audio versions, this makes no sense.
Yeah.
Whoop. Boop.
It's the fan I'm going to our fan
Since when have we been like kind to the audio listeners? We've always got stupid visual shit going. I'm glad. I would be glad. I would prefer that people listen to us mainly by audio, so I don't have to see this mess that I just refuse to clean up. Because I don't do any of your backgrounds, your filters, your AI crap. It's just all raw me, for better and for worse. Mostly for worse.
Let's add that in the quote list. It's all raw me, for better or for worse. So yeah, Terry, I'm Ryan, Duncan. Where we are on the screen on our Discord call
it changes
is
all the time.
not where we are on the screen. It's like Terry is over there. And then Duncan is below us.
Oh, I waved the wrong way, didn't I?
No, you read the right way on the screen. Because you're inverted.
Yeah, but I waved that way.
Yeah, you waved. Yeah. Oh, no.
Should have been that way if it's inverted.
No. No. Turn around.
But
there you go.
What you said? Oh, I get it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
It's confusing. Inverted cameras make everything complicated.
Travesty? What travesty? I don't see any of those here. Amber's currently choking to death in the background. So
no, Amber, don't you? Yeah, have you realised that we probably don't have much to talk about? Well, me and Terry probably have a lot of Diablo to talk about, but me and Duncan have a catch-up.
Yeah, the people who aren't lining Blizzard's pockets are just here drinking.
What are you drinking again today? You showed us just before the podcast, but
Well, I'm not lining Blizzard's pockets because I didn't pay for this.
Some Havana Club. Havana Club Smoky.
Oh, smoky rum.
Havana.
Oh wait, hold on. It's Duncan that's in reverse. Hey, whoa, 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 whoa.
Wow, wee, wee, wow, wee, wee,
Wowie,
wow.
wee, whoa, woo.
Wah,
Hold
wee,
on.
wah, wah, wah.
Let
Am
me
I backwards?
let me
That's
change that.
incredible.
Yeah, so hold on. Flip horizontal. There we go, much better. So Duncan definitely
yeah,
was
there
drinking
I am.
Havana Club, not
So wait,
not
you
I'd
re-inverted me, so
rather
this is inverted now?
No. Only Duncan.
But then if I waved this way, you should have been on that side. I swear,
No,
how,
no,
like,
trust me, look where you are on the podcast. Look where you are on the podcast feed.
Yeah, just have the window open.
You
It's
and
not
your
hard to
weird
figure out.
AI eyes need to disappear now.
No, I got
Very
the
confusing.
Discord call right here, right in front of me, where it ought to be, and over here. That's where the stream layout is. Hello, stream layout. I'll see you in 5 seconds. You know,
Yeah.
See, this is why I don't do it now. I hear you twice.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah!
Well,
No,
you
no,
can mute the stream.
Mute the stream.
You
You
pillar.
plum. There you go. Yeah, look, see. Anyway, oh yeah, look, hi. Anyway, first of all, I want to actually just go back to what me and Duncan talked about 2 weeks ago. Well, we were wrong.
What
This
are we
well,
wrong about?
Wee,
this
wah, wah?
weekend the LCS played their first games.
Hooray! And
Yeah,
and I'll be honest. I hyped up the news so much, and then I just hard did not follow up on it at all. I don't know
Yeah.
a thing that's happened in the 2 weeks.
Basically within about 24 hours of us putting the full podcast, the video, well, the podcast online, not the stream. So yeah, within 24 hours of that, the LCS and the LCSPA came up with some agreements. Yeah, the LCS agreed to not taking any of the 5 points of the LCSPA, and the Players Association agreed. No, they made some sort of
Oh, so what? So sorry, you said that they did not agree to any of the demands, and then they just went on with it anyway.
They did some, what's the word? They did say that they were going to do some things like, like giving players 15 days period of severance or something like that. Basically, they did a bunch of points that weren't exactly what the Players Association were requesting, but they did something. They did
So
5 things.
So not to the degree that they asked for, but to a sort of compromise middle ground.
Compromise, that's the word. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I
Compromises.
guess I'll take a compromised half point for being kind of right.
Yeah.
It's just like he's like they didn't completely give in to the demands, but I guess they were feeling nicer than the average corporate entity on that particular day, or desperate. I'm not sure which
The
one.
average bear.
Yeah.
Not
Yes. Thanks, Toad.
which one.
But I mean, it didn't help when you had someone like Double Lift, one of the players in the LCS, come out on stream and basically go, well, if it does turn out to the point that they don't offer us anything and they say it's no chance of playing Worlds, then of course I'm no longer going to strike.
It's like,
Just
well,
give
that's
away
not
all of your strength.
Yeah.
it's just like, oh yeah,
That's
all they have to do is commit to their current position and don't change anything, and I'll just give up. It's like, good job,
Yeah.
that's the opposite of striking.
Yeah.
It's just like the Reddit strike, right?
Yeah.
The big Reddit strike when they changed their monetization scheme. They all the major subreddits decided they were going to go private, but they announced at the onset they were going to be private for 48 hours, and they stuck. And a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them stuck to that.
Mm-hmm.
So all Reddit had to do was just wait 2 days, and everyone fucking gave up.
Yeah.
It's like, good job, guys. You stuck it to the man.
Yeah.
You stuck a dull piece of old straw to the man. Take that.
Yeah. Speaking of straw to the man, stuff like that. Well, except in this case, it was straw to the strikers. That video, that Charlie video that you posted, Moist Critical video regarding Twitch is on fire, was it again?
Moist.
Yeah.
That was to do with the Twitch monetization thing that they were implementing regarding ads I assume. I never got
Yeah,
around
they
to
were.
watching the video.
Yeah, they were changing a lot of how they were doing with ads. Basically, they said they made it. They basically made it so that it was like nearly impossible to post any kind of like advertisements from like third parties. Like
Hmm.
if you took on a sponsorship and they said, hey, do this video, play it during your stream, or have this logo on your stream at any given point in time. They basically tried to make that impossible.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I did
With
look
the
at
with
some of the stuff there. It was like,
the presumption was the hypothesis was that um that was sort of like a precursor to them sort of like expanding their own, like, because they have like their own like in-house
mhm,
like first party sponsorship outreach program,
yeah,
which naturally, if Twitch matches you to an advertiser, they get a cut for that.
yeah,
They don't get that privilege when you reach out to a sponsor,
yeah,
or they reach out to you and you have your own outside deal. And so a lot of people thought that that's what they were trying to do, is sort of like push out the sort of um outside third party sponsorship deals and try to push to have their own ads
hmm,
work better.
yeah.
I think if I don't recall entirely. I think they
They
walked back on that a
they
lot.
they walked back um almost entirely.
Yeah. Mm.
Believe that, because I remember one of the things that they were saying was like, if you are going to have an ad sponsorship, you can't run your own baked in ads. You can't run, you know, you can't run deals in the middle of your thing. If you are going to have a sponsorship, that sponsorship logo has to be less than 3% of the screen size.
3%.
Three
That's
percent.
Yeah.
like
So basically,
like
if you've ever seen a screen on like an official like organization like events Twitch channel, like
Hmm.
say for example like a GDQ, a Games Done Quick, or
Yeah.
or any just name an esport, you
Hmm.
know. They've always got sponsorships and they've always got logos all over the place.
Yeah.
They pretty much 100% of them would be breaking the rules under the proposed guidelines.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were just like, okay, we'll just stop doing Twitch then.
Yeah.
Lay shrug.
Hello.
And
Here's
I think
Kick.
Twitch actually believed them.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they walked it back.
Yeah. What they've done
I think
instead is they've fucked up. They fucked around with the partner program again now, into the Partner Plus program.
no, what is that all about now?
So like as a partner, you can effectively, as part of your partnership's contract. So basically, we're affiliates. So
Yeah,
the money that we get is on a 50-50 split
yeah.
yeah.
with Twitch. Partner, you could get initially, when the partnership program first happened, the split was at a minimum of 70-30 to the
Hmm.
streamer. And it could be negotiated the base, to get better splits, or additional perks.
Hmm.
What's happened now is that they have a system, or they're announcing a system. Twitch are announcing a system called
Well,
Partnership Plus.
first of all we
What's
need
that
to
called?
clarify that died.
Yes,
That died. 50-50 split.
50.
That's not particularly new. I think that was like last year or something.
Yeah,
Um, but they killed that deal. That was one thing they've done.
yeah.
And
So now,
was that something more
even at
recently then?
Partnership, it's still a 50-50 split, and then, or at least what they've done now is Partnership Plus. If you sign up to it, grants you a 70-30 split with Twitch for the first X amount of money that you get now. I think
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Hmm.
so, it's like 100K or something like that. At which point you would then get the 50-50 split again, just like you would at affiliate level.
Yeah.
But
Or it
the
was like
other,
a million or something. Can't
yeah,
remember.
but the
But for the
other,
multi-million-dollar streamers, that was like
Yeah,
brutal loss.
yeah. It
yeah,
was
Brutal loss.
and
yeah. No kidding.
in addition to that, it had to be income earned purely through bits and actual subscriptions.
Yeah,
Prime
yeah.
subs and gifted subs, which are, let's be honest, a lot of people's
A
streamership
very
stuff.
significant part of the Twitch ecosystem.
Yeah, wouldn't count.
They would still
So
get the full, like, just the full split,
yeah, to
50/50
just get
split.
the 50/50 split. So yeah, again, the streamers are unhappy about it because it looks basically what it looks to be is Twitch pushing the boat out, stretching the limits, seeing what they can do against their big streamer base. And when they find out that they're really, really not happy about it, and they threaten to leave to a service like Kick or YouTube,
Mhm.
then Amazon go, oh, we
Oh, we're
only,
just
oh,
kidding.
yeah, only joking, lads and ladies.
Yeah, they're really, like,
That
pushing,
seems
it's like the
to
opposite of pushing
be
envelope, it's like retracting the envelope, you know what I
Mm,
mean?
it
yeah,
seems to be the ongoing thing right now is just like push for what I like push for something extreme and see what you can get away with and then retract it when you're scared you're going to lose people.
yeah,
Well, I think that, like, generally speaking, like, the corporate strategy right now is propose something completely absurd that you probably don't actually plan to fully implement at any point ever or expect to have succeed. Retract it within like 2 days because of course you will, because it's completely absurd and unreasonable. And
mhm,
then like very quietly, like either like propose a second smaller, less extreme change, or even just don't even bother announcing it. Just like, this is a change now, by the way, I just made the
yeah,
fine
Yeah,
proof. And
slowly
then
work
and then and
towards
because if like you hit him with like the that's completely unacceptable, and then you go, well, what about this? It's like, okay, fine. If you have to, then that's like, not nearly as bad. Like, it's trying to set up your expectations to lessen the emotional impact of the change that they probably actually cared about the most.
mhm,
And it sucks. It's stupid, and people are seeing right through it like it's a fucking piece of wet white tissue paper. Um,
what
and
was it?
I've always been an extreme opponent of two monetization uh uh tricks.
Yeah,
The first is moving percentages, because percentages are future proof. Like, you change your split between someone like 50/50,
mm,
70/30, whatever. The nominal amount is irrelevant to that
yeah,
deal. Like, the percentage will be applied at all times anyway.
mm,
Uh unless something fundamentally changes about the way your business works, that you should be able to calculate, decades into the future, you know your expected growth as a company, and how much as a percent of your revenue is it going to cost you to run your service, and how much of that can you afford to give to your people. So when
yeah,
you move that percentage, y- like, it's permanent and it's future proof, and it goes on indefinitely. Whereas if you change like the nominal value, like, you can still like, let's say for example, when they changed this whole, I fucked up my, hold on. When they first moved this 70/30 split into the 50/50 split,
mhm,
if they had instead just increased the price of Twitch subscriptions, like, yeah, they would have lost some business, but at least their streamers would still be getting, like, you know, they would probably still be getting more or less the same amount of money, because,
mhm,
like, they would get an increase in their revenue that would sort of counteract the loss in actual subscriptions.
yeah,
Like, it would benefit both of them. Like, when you move that percentage, it only benefits the company, and that
mhm,
sucks.
yeah,
And the second thing that I absolutely hate, and I think it should be illegal, honestly. It really should. Unless there's like a really fucking good reason for it, it should be flat out illegal to remove features and to give less for the same amount of money,
mhm,
or more money in some cases. Like,
yeah,
when you have proposed a service or a product or whatever, and you decide that the next time you do that thing, you're going to charge the same goddamn amount of money, or an inflation adjusted amount of money, and you're just going to give us straight up, nominally, empirically less shit for that thing, that's fucking shit.
mhm,
Okay. Like, it is so hard. It should be so hard. It should be nigh on impossible to convince the average consumer to part with their money to do anything, because money is so fucking good, right? Like the amount of shit that you can do for yourself and for your life and your family and your friends with money, any amount of money, is so wild. It is better than almost anything you can do.
Mm.
So for you to be convinced to part with your money, you better be getting a really good thing for it, not
Yeah.
just some crap that's like barely kind of not worth it.
Yeah, here's our Mars bar. It used to be 50 grams for 60p, but what we're doing is we're bringing out the brand new Mars bar. That's right, it's going to be 40 grams for 60p. Well, where's my other
10 grams.
yeah, where's my other 10 grams gone? Well, if we kept it at that size, we would have had to charge 75p, but this is a deal that means you're able to pay the same amount of money, yeah, for
So
less.
just charge 75p, you fucking pleb.
Yeah. And while you were on that, I was like,
Increase the price and say inflation.
yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
So
if you
that'd be
got
that.
it, decrease the package size, reduce the price. Increase the price, keep the package the same. This is how you deal with inflation.
Yeah.
That's just how the world works.
And
Like,
again, there are those grade A scumbags who'll be like, yeah, this is you had the 50 gram Mars bar for 60p. Now here comes the 40 gram Mars bar for 75p. Yeah. No.
yeah, but we made the plastic out of like slightly better material, so
Or
it's like
in this
it's like
case,
0.1% less likely to rupture in
yeah.
transit.
See, I
So
actually joke about
congratulations.
this. I actually joke about this with the Mars bar. It's like we're no longer using plastic for our wrappers. We're using paper instead, so it's recyclable. Why are you
Oh
charging
yeah,
us?
they're
Why are you charging us
biodegradable
an
as well.
extra?
That's a big thing. Plastic in the ocean. Got to worry about that. We got to shit's got to break down in a few decades, or it ain't good.
Yeah, so why are you now charging me an extra 25p for the privilege of it being recyclable, dicks? But
Oh
anyway, yeah, to go back on what you were saying, sort of about pushing the envelope or retracting the envelope. We've seen this with the gaming industry already. The whole idea is to push people into going, oh yeah, well the previous idea was better, I suppose. We've seen it over the past 2 decades. On disc DLC. No, that's a dick move. All right, no, cool, that's fine. Here are loot boxes. Oh well, loot boxes. I mean, I would have preferred that old on disc DLC. Now here's season passes. Oh well, you know what? We would have preferred those loot boxes. No, every single step is a dick move. The fact that you're basically having your head bashed into going, yeah, the previous scummy tactic is the better scummy tactic. It's
yeah,
the lesser of the
I'll
three
listen.
evils.
As a person who has a vendetta against pretty much everything that the AAA and video game industry has done,
Hmm.
bar almost none within the last like 12 years. I'll go as far as to say that I do consider the like seasonal like pass systems to be uh, among the least egregious of all of the like post on perpetually online video game like monetization solutions.
Mm.
I don't love them, and
My
some are
only
better than
problem,
others, but
my
I don't hate them.
Yeah, Terry.
my only problem with the seasons passes is the games that come out with a seasons pass, and then after a certain amount of time, they're like, "Oh, and here's a second season pass." It's like I paid for the seasons pass to get all the DLC, not part of the DLC.
Mm.
Now it's like a separate thing. Like, okay, it's different when the games are out for years and years. Like, if a game's out for 3 years, then maybe after 2 years they say, "Look, we're not making any more money now because everybody just bought the seasons pass after we brought out 3 DLCs or whatever.
Hmm.
Here's a second seasons pass so we can actually get some more money to make the game profitable again."
Yeah.
But it's like, I bought a seasons pass for a reason.
Hmm.
Well, why do I have to buy a second one?
Mm. Well,
Yeah,
yeah. I
it's
mean,
I it the
Like, they
what was
should
I gonna say?
have a timer, you like, on the season pass saying this season pass will last for all DLCs within this time frame.
oh crap! I've just realised. Yeah, but you're talking about the old version of Season Pass, aren't you? Maybe we probably should have said Battle Pass. I believe is the term.
Battle pass?
So seasonal passes where they get you to play daily events, recurrent logins and to do things daily, and you'll have a free pass. And every 4 levels of that pass, you'll get a coat for a character or something like that.
No, I'm
But
talking about like buying
you're
a
talking about the
DLC
old.
season
You're talking
pass.
about the old DLC the old DLC season pass. I get you on that one.
Yeah.
Season pass 1, season pass 2. I was talking about something even more that was more egregious, but less egregious. Which was the whole the fear of missing out pass.
Yeah.
Fear of missing out pass.
Yeah, so
and I'm not I hate this too, where it's like the like limited time, like only this season you get these rewards if you buy the super pass
League of
business,
Legends.
and they give you the preview on the free version.
Yeah.
But it's like only but like you only get like the good shit if you buy the pass, and so it's like, but and a lot of it is like timed, so like you only get it if you get it in this season. Once it's gone, it's gone.
And you better not think about playing any other games for the rest of
Yeah,
that season.
and that's the other thing too. Like, God, I hate how just like like I get it, but it's like I just hate how aggressively games are like competing for like
Your
your
playtime.
attention and your playtime. It's just like
you need to spend your whole life playing this one game to get everything, or else you're not going to get it.
And the way that a lot of these live service games are going as well, if they don't have all the players all the time, they consider it a failure and they just dump it. Square Enix, well known for it. Just like, oh, here's a game. It's been out for 2 months. We haven't got the entire population of Earth playing it. Below expectations. Kill the game. See you later. Oh, any money that you spent? Nah, that's ours. It was an investment.
Yeah. And games are just expensive. Like it's just expensive.
It goes back to what you were saying. Like,
remember
money
in that
is king.
Nice little period in that period of time, like between the late 2000s and the early 10s, where they started to like really emphasize digital copies distribution, and started to phase out physical copies. I mean, obviously physical copies are still available for pretty much everything except for like primarily PC gaming. But now it's like digital distribution is like the preferred way for most people now, and it's just like you would think that we would see like a correlating change in the price, now that we're not actually physically shipping physical objects halfway across the world to get these games to arrive in your shelves. But lo and behold, they didn't drop a penny. They went
No,
up.
in fact, it's like what we're paying for? Oh, the server space and the Origin servers to hold them on. What? And that's more expensive than plastic jewel cases and paper being wasted to make manuals and stuff like that. You're trying to tell me
And
that's more expensive?
the fuel of the ship that
that
haul
gets
them here,
vehicles and
that gets
stuff.
stuck in
the
that gets
jet
stuck in the Suez
fuel
Canal
from the airplane.
Yeah, but no.
Apparently, I guess computers are expensive. What can I say? But like,
Yeah.
it's it like I say, I keep referring it to as the Jenga strategy of just like, we're just gonna take existing aspects of our monetization, and we're just gonna keep tearing out this bit, sticking up on top. We're gonna take this bit out and stick it up on top. And we're just gonna keep on going up until everything below is just a skeleton.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at that point, when the next video game crash does happen, there won't be a landfill of cartridges because there'll be less physical games.
It'll be the most eco-friendly video game crash of all time.
Yeah. Oh dear. But anyway, speaking of stuff with egregious microtransactions, Terry, you and me have finished the campaign for Diablo 4.
I have not.
You've not. I have. All right, fine.
You
Fair
said
enough.
you and me have.
Sorry,
I wish I have. I got so far ahead of everybody last weekend, and then have had no time to play since.
Oh, Terry made the major mistake, which was world tiers in Diablo are restricted by campaign progress, not by level, like Diablo 3 used to be, or like Diablo's prior. used to be. So
Yeah,
Terry,
so I decided I was gonna full complete the first map because why not? I'm on the first map. Might as well just do all the stuff, like find all the stuff and complete all of that. I
yeah,
got to level 50. Woo! Go to the
perfect.
thing to upgrade my world tier so I get harder difficulty, better loot, more money, more experience.
Hmm.
You have to complete the campaign and this special dungeon that happens at the very end of the campaign.
Yeah. They've basically gone the whole idea of. I've always said that, and I said this before Diablo 4 came out, that half of the big unique features that they were saying that were going to be in D4 in terms of progression states have already been done years ago with a little known game by Ubisoft called The Division.
Yeah.
Because that is exactly the same way they increase world dip tiers and difficulty in The Division. It's through campaign progress, not level. So it's like, you just keep going. And the whole idea of a capstone dungeon, or like a checkpoint, or whatever it was in The Division, it was always a skill check. If you couldn't be capable of beating the capstone dungeon, the game is not going to give you a difficulty that you wouldn't be able to handle. That's the idea behind it. It's also a bit of gated progress to stop you from just finishing the game in 2 seconds. Because that's the thing. Speaking of, actually, there was a bit of news story I did find. I think I found it on Eurogamer. Something along the line of Blizzard releasing information that, here we go. The significant majority of Diablo 4 players haven't finished the game yet. Now, partially, I bring that down to the fact that it's only been out 2 weeks, less than 2
Yeah.
weeks. It was the 6th, wasn't it? Was the official date.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, it's been out 12
I mean,
days. Officially.
people don't finish games nearly as much as they used to anymore.
No, no,
Well,
and
no, because by the time you're partway through the game, the next big game comes out, and you
Yeah.
start playing that, and then you never go back.
yeah,
And then the next big game comes out, and it's just like, will it ever end?
it is a game that never ends.
It just goes on and on,
Well, it's
your
just like you
friend.
can see it like through like things like achievement progress, right? Because
Mhm.
like you have now that you have that, you have sort of like a global barometer for like how much of a game people play on average. You know, you can and you get to a point where like you can see like, oh, I got to the 3/4 way mark in the game and I got this achievement for it, and you can see, oh, 33% of people got this achievement. It's like it's not even the end of the game. Why are 2/3 of the people dropping off
Yeah.
Mm.
already? And this game is like a year old. It's just like,
But we're
that
also
that
in the
probably didn't used to happen as much.
well, I think it did because there's a lot of people that get a game or own games that they have barely ever played. Like,
Yeah,
I've
look at
I'm no
seen
console
stranger.
gamers and stuff like that. Like, a lot of console gamers get sometimes a game with their console and they never play it. It just sits
Mhm.
on their shelf. So it's sort of the
Hmm.
same thing. It's just now it's a little bit more obvious because you can compare your achievements with other people.
Yeah, which is actually
Whereas
an hilarious
before,
thing. I think one of the Riot Forge games I've got while we got talking about. I don't know if it was Convergence or if it was the Mage Seeker. One or the other basically gives you an achievement for starting the game.
Muck did that, if I'm not mistaken.
Muck also probably did it as well.
A
But
lot of games, as soon as you
so
just
I think
load into the game.
I think he's trying to finish up.
my point on this is that there are some people who just don't even give the game the chance, because a lot of the achievements on Steam, it's not that, like, let's just say I had a look at it and it's like 95% of people earn this achievement. But the key thing with
Yeah,
Steam achievements is that doesn't take into account anyone who hasn't loaded up the game yet. So that means in this scenario there were what did I say, 95%? There were
Yeah.
5% of people who have loaded the Mage Seeker and didn't click start, gave up, and turned it off.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to see. Big mistake. Play Muck for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to click on it to see how many people actually have that achievement, but it doesn't want to let me see it. Why are you doing this? Global achievement. Big mistake. Percent of all players. Why is it saying 0%?
Uh,
I think Steam's gone weird on me. I don't know.
you
But yeah,
think?
it
Technical
says
problems with
every
everything.
achievement on it is saying 0% of Steam players have this achievement. Am
Mm-hmm.
I offline or something? Like, what is going on? What is happening?
But while you're looking at that, I mean, part of the article was talking about what these effectively, Blizzard are calling them campfire chats. What I would consider them as are state of the game updates, and I find it a little bit weird that it's only less than 2 weeks in and they're already doing a state of the game update. But
Yeah.
what their argument is that players aren't actually they're playing it. There's a lot of people playing it, but in terms of the story campaign, they're going the way of Terry. They're playing a lot more of the content around the story without actually going through the campaign themselves. For Diablo 4 compared to the games before it, there is a fucking lot of stuff in the open world model that they've gone with. There's a lot of stuff in there, and it's not necessarily of the old classic open world trap of tons of areas to travel and nothing there. There's generally something somewhere going, okay, maybe closer to the derived. It's still the derised Ubisoft method of open world of markers upon markers upon markers, just no radio towers. Um, but there's a lot of stuff going on, and so when it's like, oh, people haven't even completed the game yet, it's like, yeah, but that's not necessarily saying that they're not playing it.
Here,
Isn't that right? Isn't that
I
right,
have a,
Lilith?
I
I
think
have
I
a
know.
statistic for one of my games that I play. So Ori and the Will of the Wisps,
Yes,
great game, it's fantastic. It is
I played it
it
off
is a
your
video
recommendation.
game. I mean, I'm not saying that sarcastically. It is it is a real game that made by real people, and that isn't it's shitty, crunchy like uh, AAA battle pass bullshit. Um,
That's soon
but
to
to
be
get
delivered by AI.
yeah, so we have I got the global achievements here, and the first achievement uh that you get in the game is just for basically like fighting like the tutorial boss.
Mm-hmm.
So like literally, this is like 5 minutes into the game
Yeah.
that you get this. A couple cutscenes and like 5 minutes of gameplay,
Can I have a guess of
and
how many people have completed it
you can go ahead and guess
in
a percentage.
percentage? 70.
18.
No, 73.
Well, okay, you're a little pessimistic. It's 81%.
I okay, fair
Wow.
enough.
But again, this is like in like 30 minutes of playing this game, you'll get this achievement.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that almost 20% of people who bought this game, loaded it up, and
Didn't get 20 minutes.
interacted with it at all have played less than like 30 minutes of this game.
Which is a concern because, like I said, Ori, I believe I started playing that based on your recommendation, and it
That
is
makes
a
sense.
fucking lovely game.
Yeah.
It's a lovely game, and it's certainly worth more than 30 minutes of people's time.
Ryan, do me a
Yes.
favor.
Yeah.
Go onto the web browser under Steam.
I
Not
haven't
through
got my
your,
Steam open.
not on Steam. Go through web browser to Steam.
Okay.
Search the Steam store for Muck on the web browser.
On the web browser.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. I'll keep doing that. You keep vamping while I
because
do that.
the reason I'm asking you to do that is because I think the reason why the achievements aren't showing up is because it's not available on the Steam store through the web browser,
Interesting.
and I cannot figure out why.
Okay, well, I can at least see the Steam achievements now. It is available on Steam on the web browser.
Why can't I find it?
I don't know.
Like, when I search muck, I can even click muck, and I click on it, and it says, "Did you mean Muse?"
Could you have exclusions?
I don't see any filters active. I don't see
I know
any.
I'm logging into Steam while doing this now.
It's set to any price. Maybe it's because I'm logged in and I already own it that it doesn't show up in the Steam store.
Oh, Call of Duty Season 4 in Warzone. Don't care.
I'm just very confused.
But
Like, I thought maybe that's why I can't see the achievements.
yeah, but
But
do you want to see the percentage of people who played Muck for the first time?
please.
Oh, hello. Hold on. Get off. 90.9%.
Wow. So
90% of people have not loaded up to the
Oh.
main menu of Muck.
Oh no. They have. So
Sorry,
10%.
they have. Sorry, I that's what I meant.
it's 10%.
But that's 10% who have not loaded up the free game.
Who have not, the free game did not make it to the
Or
main
does that go
menu.
into the world? And that might be loading into a world.
It's play Muck for the first time. So yeah. But that means to start a game.
Yeah.
So that
they went
means
to the menu.
they went to the menu.
Steam won't even register it.
Yeah, they went to the menu, went fuck that noise, and turned it off.
Or their friend decided they didn't want to play it then,
and that then was never.
Yeah, because that's happened to us before. We get a game, we install it, and we launch it just to make sure it's going to run, and then wait for our friends to play, and then they don't come on, or they decide they don't want to do it, or they don't have time, or something like that, and then we never go back to it. I'm sure that's happened to you guys as well.
It has, but I want to go for this one. Muck. Beat the game using only a rock, taking no damage and using no power-ups. Percentage.
1%. 0.1% actually.
0.1%.
Sure.
Nah.
0.5%.
Boom, Duncan got it.
Yeah.
Half a percent of people.
The only way I could see people doing that is getting extremely, extremely lucky or cheating the game. More likely, cheating the game.
Yeah, because this is a bit weird as well. Beat the game alone without taking any damage. 0.5%.
And like I said, the only way to get those achievements is to get extremely, extremely, extremely lucky.
Mm-hmm.
You have to find a village that sells you everything you need to set your boat off, and somehow dodge the final boss dragon and beat him up with a fucking stone.
Yep.
Or is it more feasible that they put a cheat engine in and just
maybe
wrote that they completed the game?
I do love
Not
the
putting
fact
it out there that there's nobody that's lucky enough to get all the dominoes to fall the right way, but
still, it could happen. I mean, that's just Muck's achievements all over, though. I mean, there is a secret achievement here just called "Oh, you don't know what Carlson is," which is to do with, I think that's just to do with his own, like, one of his other games. Because it wasn't the whole thing behind Muck that was just someone saying you can't build a game, and he went.
Yeah, he was a streamer apparently. That someone in his comments said that he can't make a game, so he decided he was going to make a game.
Yeah, and wow, it's a mental game.
And it's actually enjoyable. It's playable.
Yeah, we streamed it.
Yeah, and we got a lot of people trying to join us too.
Yeah.
It was quite popular stream.
To the point, if we get another whole bunch of us again, if we can align the planets that we can get a whole bunch of us to play Muck again, we did say we would open it up.
Yeah. My only worry about that is we can't control what they do.
Mm-hmm.
What they say, who they offend. Not that we can control our own people half the time anyways, but...
Yeah, Stephanie's man cave.
Me too. I'm not perfect.
Everyone making their own man caves instead of
Oh yeah. I more meant like saying things to offend people and
oh well, yeah. I mean, to be fair, like I said, that's why we have trouble of like doing that with Jackbox games, and why sort of Steph loves his man cave.
Yeah,
Why
it's a little bit different on Jackbox. Like Jackbox, they could write any sort of answer to some of these questions,
Mhm.
and there's literally nothing we could do until it's already there. It's
Yeah.
just like, oh well,
I mean,
sorry everybody, this
yeah.
wasn't us.
Yeah, you see, my exception to that was the trivia games, because no one can write in like dodgy, they can't
Yeah, they have to pick from a set of answers.
yeah. So we're more than happy to allow people to join for audiences for that.
It'd be
But
like Cards Against Humanity or something like that. Yeah, you can say some offensive things with those cards.
But you can only say what's on the cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Which,
technically,
it's offensive enough, but there's limits.
yeah, and
You're not gonna drop a
it's,
hard N in in Cards Against Humanity.
no,
and
no,
technically
exactly.
it's Cards Against Humanity's control rather than ours.
Yeah, man, what a company that fell down the favor of people.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. I mean, we still got our boxes of Cards Against Humanity. We still have the giant. Where is it? Oh, there is a giant box somewhere that we still haven't opened up the top layer of the box that does say the biggest, blackest dick in it. That is a card that's in there, and it's in between the layers of the box. It's a hollow foil, but if you open up the layer, you can just use it, and it's. But that's because we got the biggest, blackest box, which is just a giant. It's just a giant storage box, but that's where you can put all the expansions, and it had a load of cards in there as well. But yeah. So now I've completed the campaign of Diablo 4, and I'm not going to spoil it.
Please don't.
I won't.
Because
I don't
not
care.
that I'm really paying that much attention to the story. Stefan's getting really annoyed with me going through with him because my famous line is, Stefan, I fucked up.
Which is him, which is Terry
Which is
skipping a cutscene and ending up in the middle of a boss fight while Steph's still sat there watching.
with a little
The
symbol
cutscene.
above his head as the boss is just beating on him.
Yeah.
Luckily, he can't take any damage in that
Yeah.
state. But half the time, the boss is dead by the time he gets into the cutscene. He's just like, what happened? And I'm like, well, there was this happening. And then I try to explain the boss fight. He's like, well, I would have liked to see that.
Yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, all right. So what happened? Why is this boss dead already? There was a cutscene. Well, you see, she had 3 phases in which she had to kill enemies to break her unbreakable shield.
Yeah.
It's like,
Usually it's 4 phases, but
it sort of depends on the boss, really. I mean, one boss has got 6 phases or so, which I do like the way that it's a small bit of game design that I like, but it's game design that I like. The boss health bar has little
shows how many
triangles in its thing, and once you break past a triangle, that moves into the next phase of the boss. I like that.
at least you know what you're what's coming up.
Oh, Steph says, alright, I can see the fight going on in the background of the cutscene.
That's happened too, or my minion just showing up in his cutscenes.
I mean, I do like the fact that some minions in a fight can just turn up in the middle of your cutscene, but because of that fact that you are invulnerable once you go into a cutscene or like a quest NPC or stuff like that, you see the mobs try and attack a little bit, and then they go, "Ah, fuck that," and then they just run off. Only if they're in your range to come back in and hit you in the face again.
Yeah. I just hit for 7,000 damage or 70,000 damage. My first hit.
Twitch on Discord has just told us we've gone live, by the way.
Wow, Discord bot, you're awesome.
Very on point.
Yeah, absolutely, entirely on point. Just as we're about to probably come up and wrap up on the podcast, that it tells us we've got one. We've got one. Jesus, did I just do a really
Hey guys,
bad Ghostbuster joke?
did you know that we're live?
You know what? The thought never crossed my mind. Never crossed my mind.
I would have never guessed that we were live.
I know, right?
Never.
I know. But you know what? That was fun. Just had a little bit of discussion. Our main topic today was just discussing about scummy business practices. So
Scummy gaming business practices. No,
well,
there's lots more scum. no
Ah.
doubt. But
Thanks, Steph. I would have never have known you were live if Discord didn't tell me. Says the man who's been speaking throughout the podcast.
since before it even started.
Yeah. To be fair, no, I mean, to be fair, you could argue, I was just using the chat room, you know. Just turned out it was a
Yeah, he just wanted to
coincidental
talk
that we were
chat.
there. Yeah. But, yeah. I guess before we go, I saw Duncan playing some sort of Warhammer 40k game. What was it?
Oh, I've been playing Warhammer 40k Gladius.
Gladius.
Basically, it's like it's sort of like it's like a Civ game, like a Civ
Right, okay.
style grand strategy game.
Mhm.
It's a lot more like fast than Civ. Like you're not spending freaking thousands of years like building up your society and building hundreds of different like buildings that all do different shit. There's like 8 buildings. They all
Right.
generate a certain amount of resource, and then you got like a couple that produce army units, and then you build army units and you just go and you go punch the enemy in the face. That's
Mhm.
which in keeping with 40k world building, it's pretty legit. Like it's a very like truncated, like streamlined version of the Civ formula that
Yeah.
is very much geared towards just build this, build up your resources, build up your income, build units, go kill the enemy.
Right. Okay.
It's you can play like a Civ, you can play that game for dozens of hours on a single map.
Thousands of turns and never still finish the fucking game.
Yeah.
Whereas, like you could reasonably play a game of Gladius in like an afternoon.
Oh, cool. So it's distilled the sort of the game into its
Yeah, I've been
more
playing it with Jacob a bit. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm playing the orcs.
Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
the Jacob of the Blood Alliance.
Jacob. Yeah,
Jacoby.
Fair dues.
package. Yeah,
Fair
yeah.
dues.
It's soft recommendation if you're interested in like turn-based strategy games in that formula, and you
Mhm.
want something that doesn't take, the better part of a month to play. Just give Gladius a try, and
Yeah, fair enough. We'll keep an eye on that. I'll maybe see because I do like my Civ games. Just
yeah. I mean,
don't have
hey,
the time to play a full game anymore.
absolutely. I mean, the more the merrier. Jacob. Steph has apparently
Jacob.
played the game.
Yeah.
I have no idea if
It says it's good.
how interested he is in trying more of it, but
Yeah,
it's all right.
fair dues.
Thumbs up.
Cool. Just before we leave the podcast, then, just to give you that last remembrance, remember Civilization 3 had a correspondence mode.
Yeah, I can play Civ by mail.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like
The whole idea was you played your turn, it saved the game. You'd send your save file by email to someone, and they would open it up and play their turn. I hope
That would have been brutal.
this email
yeah,
finds you
play
well.
play Civilization, largest map possible, slowest speed, and correspondence mode. Play
Oh,
one game for your entire
oh
life
God! Should we
with
do
this
that as
other
an
guy.
Immaterial Gamers challenge?
I dare you guys.
I
All
still
right,
have
Ryan, let's
Siri
go.
somewhere. All right, let's go.
See if you
Maybe
guys can complete 20 turns.
20. That's
Oh,
optimistic.
mm.
Oh man, I think I still got it. It's like chess in Red Dwarf. I think I remember a loading ready
Yeah,
run.
exactly.
I remember a loading ready
It's like,
run crap shot called the correspondence, and it was just like, I hope this letter finds you well. I've just been going through my life and just waiting for this moment. I would like to tell you this. No blocks. And it zooms out and it's just a Magic the Gathering board state. So it's just, oh man.
it's just it's just freaking chess and Red Dwarf. It's
Oh
like, oh, that's a brilliant move. That one is
yeah.
absolutely genius. It's like, who's winning? It's like, I don't know. That was the
Don't
first move of the
care.
game.
Yeah, that was the first move. Yeah, that was. Oh god. Yeah, we're still supposed to do that Red Dwarf watch or reaction stream at one point.
Oh,
So
please,
ridiculous.
anytime, dude. Seriously, I will clear my calendar. I love Red Dwarf. I'll take any excuse.
Could easily just like watch a whole series in a stream because Red Dwarf.
I mean,
It uses the
it's not.
British. It
I mean,
uses the
it's
British
British.
series model, so we'd
You
have
know,
we'd have it like season one
it's
done in.
short.
Yeah, we'd have
Yeah,
series one done in
it's only
2 hours.
it's like 6 episodes, right?
Yeah.
It's like half-hour a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally just like sit down for less time than we spend doing a play session most times.
Yeah.
And we'd have the first season out and out
Yeah.
and about.
Yeah, one of us just shares it through on Discord, and then we just, like I say, it's just a reaction stream. Because we learned that watch parties on Twitch don't fucking work. Coraline.
Yeah. So I guess the idea is that it's like what we do like a sort of a bit of a preamble, and then we say, oh, at this time, on this timestamp we sync with TV show,
Yeah.
and then we just like
Yeah, so it's just like
for watching multiple episodes though, like how would we work that out? Like just timestamp every episode, or
I
like
think
it's like or like just assume it's played as like one continuous block, or like what's the how we do that?
Yeah, that's something we could discuss offline. But I think that's just like
Yeah.
it would just be a case of just like saying on my go, we'll just push this. Maybe we do it for episode 1, and then and then just like right, we stopped. Right, you can go to episode 2 if you've joined us. Do this on our go. 3, 2, 1. The usual business. But we can easily sort that. But yeah, we've got to get a bit of time to do that, especially because we didn't do the Eurovision stream this year. It just didn't work out. Timings weren't working out. We're all over the place. Hell, let's be honest. Even I didn't watch Eurovision that year. I went out to the pub. No, we didn't. We went out to watch. What did we watch?
Volcanic Protector Man.
A Marvel film. I think we watched a Marvel film.
That was probably the lesser
Guardians,
choice.
yeah.
Guardians. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's probably like the one that would make it worth it.
Yeah, it was a very good film.
I was gonna say it's just like Marvel film. That's got to be a lesser choice than Eurovision most of the time. Guardians. Okay, fair enough.
Guardians. No, I accept it. All right, so
Guardians. I mean, the weakest of the three, but they're decent, still decent.
I am a man, and I cried.
I mean, I had emotions, but I cried more in the second one. It's
Oh, the second one also.
Pretty
okay.
tough.
James Gunn knows how to pull emotional heartstrings.
Indeed.
Indeed. I mean, I say
go
that.
See Guardians 3. It's probably it's probably the final hurrah of the MCU. if I'm being honest, financially and creatively.
Well, stick by next week when I tell you how Secret Invasion episode 1 went. Because Samuel episode 2 won't be out by the time the next podcast starts. The first episode of Secret Invasion starts on the 21st. So, we'll see Samuel L. Jackson phone it in. I mean, be Nick Fury.
What about the snakes on a plane?
I have had it with this motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
It is like bizarre how much that character just like was so underutilized in this series. Just Nick Fury just hanging out in like
the after credits,
like 2 movies,
Yeah, no, that's Terry's got
he's
a point. He spent like a total of 5 minutes of screen time across a decade of films.
I mean, he did spend most of his screen time with save for 3 movies in the after credits. Probably a third of his total screen time is fucking teasers, after credit teasers. It's and then he just shows up. He's like, what the fuck? Thanos is gone. What?
Well,
what did I do?
Imagine the people that didn't stay for the credits.
Oh,
they're like, who's this guy?
No, right. Honestly, no forgiveness for people who, after 15 years, have still not figured out
that Marvel
post-credit scenes happen. Now, granted,
Marvel
are being
after
dipped.
15 counter argument. After 15 years, I've noticed that most of the fucking after credits fucking scenes don't matter anyway. So who fucking cares?
I mean, let's be honest.
Go watch it on YouTube. After 15 years, you learned. Go watch it on YouTube.
Yeah. Let's be honest. The mid-credit scene for Guardians was nice. The post-credit scene, it's basically where I'm at. Was there a need for that? I mean, I did like the fact that Steph sent us the teaser trailer for Secret Invasion in the form of the link to the Secret Invasion and the code. And now I don't know where he got the code from. What puzzle had to be solved to get the passcode, but he did it. And I'll also say this: the Secret Invasion trailer was not friendly to mobile phones because that's where I tried to copy and paste the password, and it
And it
didn't
broke.
work. Yep, it didn't work.
Good job, Marvel.
Yeah,
You
but
just keep hitting the home runs, Disney.
I mean, let's just be fair. Just watching, there are like morons. I mean, I was playing through Tron Identity, and the amount of people that went into the Steam forum for Tron Identity and went, "It's Disney, so fuck off, woke bastards." I was like, "Oh, get out of here, dickheads! Get out!"
Hey, we got long enough into my background to see my character out of a ship and running around.
Oh yeah, you've done that plenty of times. You've done that many times.
Maybe
But
I just don't pay
the other
enough
thing,
attention to
okay, now that we've had a little bit of a discussion, yes, I can see the main problem with the Little Mermaid isn't necessarily because of people just like going, "Oh no, Black Mermaid, what are we going to do?" It's more of the fact of Disney's apparent need in their documents to, it's part of the company policy to remake their stories every generation. That's a problem. It's like,
Yeah, sounds great.
why have we got
Sounds like
Aladdin
it sounds like
again?
it sounds like a dystopia.
Yeah, why have we got Aladdin again? Because people now don't see the original Aladdin movie. Yeah, but they
We have
should, because that was a good one. The live action film wasn't.
It's like you don't have to make it every generation. You can just take the one that existed before and then just show it to the people who weren't alive to watch it.
Very
or
silly.
You know,
master it.
Aladdin. Hey, you want a little fucking? I'm gonna give you a little fucking secret.
Oh, we're getting an inside baseball here. Here we go.
Aladdin came out like 3 years before I was born, and I watched it anyway, and it was fucking good. I didn't need a new Aladdin
Yeah,
from the 2000s to watch it.
you really did.
I just fucking watched the good one that already existed when I was alive.
Yeah, we didn't. You didn't need to remake the film with Will. Take my wife's name out of your fucking mouth, Smith.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
why are we talking so close to the microphones?
I don't know. It just feels nicer.
Because sometimes you just gotta get up in someone's grill.
You just need a
and,
bit of ASMR.
A little bit. What if I start touching the mic?
Yeah, so Little Mermaid's also fucking bombing. Also, just FYI, fucking $466 million on the box office sounds great until you realize that their break-even point is like $700 million.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
kind of ridiculous nowadays.
between box office percentage splitting and pre and post release marketing, like that shit's got to be at least 700-800 million break even bare minimum. So they are in trouble. They are out for 3 weeks. 3 weeks now. That's a long time for a movie. Like most of your money has been made by this point. You know,
Yeah.
not doing great. I'm telling you.
Disney, do well and make original content. Your original content is cool. Your Pixar stuff is fine. Turning Red was a funny fucking film, and it definitely wasn't me in the target audience for that film, but it was fucking hilarious and it was great. Original content. Original.
Not what they used to be, but it's okay. It's probably their best branch at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, right, schedule for this week. Tomorrow, I will carry on playing Grime. Promise. So that'll happen. Yes. Because now the weather is at a point that I'm comfortable, and I can do it. It's also a game that I can play with. Well, because I can't play it with a face cam because it works in Unreal, and therefore Unreal messes with my face cam. It means I don't have to play with a face cam. I can play shirtless if it is too warm.
That's just dirty.
Whatever. Tuesday, maybe even more Rhyme to catch up for the fact that I didn't play it last week.
Yeah, Tuesdays are always a big maybe for me and Andrea as well.
Or the Better Together sibling rivalry group who've been playing a lot.
Play some black and white, maybe.
Yeah. And now that you're done with It Takes Two.
It takes two, baby.
Now it's time for Amori.
Oh yeah, Amori. That's what you're also playing, the weird horror RPG.
Yeah, it's sort of like a Earthbound inspired type horror RPG. Yeah, it's interesting. It's gearing up to be an interesting one. I already have my predictions. I already have some predictions for what's gonna happen, but I'll reserve myself for the streams.
That is. Scheduled stream Thursday will be Teamfight Thursdays, and we're back on the Howling Abyss. Still trying to deal with whether the wheel will be viable in Teamfight Tactics, but all signs are currently pointing to no. But there is a 12 hours X idiots idea that I do have in my head.
Oh god,
And
not
that's
again.
great because we've got about 6 months to determine whether it's going to be viable or not.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I gotta put the brakes on that shit for the rest of the year. No more 12 hours. Because every 12-hour stream I've done 2 of them this year. This calendar, it's not even half over. I've already done 2 of them, and neither one of them was 12 hours. Both of them went into overtime. I
Yeah.
can't do it, Ryan. I can't keep doing this.
You should play more Sonic Pet Thing.
No, play Sonic. I don't want to.
I love how quick that went into that, by the way, that you ended up was like, all right, this 12 hours, get all the emblem thing is not happening. Chow Garden for life.
Oh yeah, no, it was like I was like, oh yeah, making progress, playing the game, beating the game, we're doing good. I'm taking longer than I expected to, but I'm still gonna get there. And
Let's
then
go play with Chows.
and then I started doing, and then I started ticking off some of the the
Challenge
the
emblems.
challenge missions and stuff. And I was like, okay, let's take a break and do some Chow Guard. I'm like, oh no, this is gonna take forever.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is the
this is
thing.
gonna
We
take
both,
hours and
in
hours.
both our 12-hour playthroughs, well, 15-hour playthrough for Duncan, overtime. Yeah, we both underestimated how much you needed to put into Chow Garden, and that's even with Duncan with his weird cheat strat.
Yeah, I had an exploit. I used an exploit in mine, and I was still spent like half of that stream just hanging out in the Chow Garden. It was brutal. Like
Yeah.
like the world record for like the 100% category in this speed run is like 8 hours or something. Like and something like 2/3 of that is in the Chow Garden or some
Yeah.
ridiculous shit. Like the Chow Garden is no joke. Like the most optimal strategies currently available to humankind cannot get that shit done in less than several hours.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's the thing. But yeah, like I said, we don't need to worry about 12 hours X Idiots for many months yet, because it would be something at the discussion at the end of set 9.5. We're not even a week into set 9 yet, so
I thought they were gonna stop doing the 0.5s.
they're stopping the 0.5s after this set.
Oh.
So it'll be then longer full sets. But my idea was basically turning Teamfight Tactics into Risk.
I do
I'll
hope
explain
that
at some point.
like if they remove the 0.5s, that they still do some changes over time. Like
yeah,
they
they'll still be doing
tweak
patches
some of the
and stuff. But
well, tweak some of the characters around or swap some of the characters out, just not as drastic.
as a
It'd be nice if
0.5
they
is usually a
Yeah, like 0.5 is like sometimes 5 new characters and they change some of the
mechanics.
actual yeah. Whereas I think they should just maybe swap out a couple characters, keep all the same roles, not change any of the roles, just change some of the characters up.
Yeah.
Mix it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We should do they should do like one set that's just like the sort of like the multiverse set where they take like characters and groups, archetypes, whatever you call them, factions from like different TFT sets and like kind of like throw them in like one big mosh pit.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. We're at set 9 now, so there was plenty of options for them to look at. So that's just how it will work. But yeah, we'll keep on going with ideas for that.
They'll have one. They'll have one group that's just like every version of Ezreal that's ever been.
Oh God!
In a thing, it's literally just the Ezreal.
The Ezreal update
origin.
Yeah. Oh man. Friday play session. Big question mark. That's not
always a big
like
question mark.
Yeah, it's not a question mark of whether we stream it. It's just a question mark of who,
Who's
when,
gonna
and
beat it?
what.
It's like I always say, like the Tuesday, Wednesday are sort of like the true wild cards of like some. It's the real mystery box of like sometimes there's nothing in it. Sometimes there's like 2 or 3 streams in it, and your guess is as good as ours what's actually in it. The Friday is like is sort of like the traditional wild card where like
Yeah.
it is something. There will always be something. What it is the question.
Correct. And then Saturday and Sunday, role-playing Nottingham games. I'm playing with my accidentally over-level party in Tales of Vesperia and having all the fun with it. So they'll just keep happening. Remember, lesson there: don't open all your DLC at once.
Open all the DLC at once.
Correct. All right. So from
All
me,
of
yeah. So from me, Duncan and Terry, have a good one. The podcast is wherever your podcasts are served, and like, share, and subscribe, and all that business. So yeah.
And happy Father's Day.
Oh yeah, happy Father's Day,
Yeah.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Peace out.